Killian alluded to a knee thing. Did he kind of say, like, I didn't give it my all? Did he kind of say that?
Welcome back to the next aid station. I'm your host, Jake Kilgore. Nick Garrison co-hosting. Nice shirt.
You too, man.
Looks good.
The Mick Garrison. It's my new Instagram tag or handle.
That was nice. Okay, this week on the episode, we have become seasoned documentary analysts. Rotten Tomatoes.
Siskel and Ebert.
Yes. We have a bunch of movies to talk about this week. But before we get to the movies, because I'm going to talk about, apparently it was Ultrarunning documentary release week. We had The Chase. We had The Finisher. King of Moab. I don't know, maybe some others. I felt like I was watching the movie every day.
The other Barkley one.
Yeah, but that was just like a recap.
Well, it still came out this week.
And the recap on the 2025 Barkley. But before we get into that, can we just quickly say, for those of you at home keeping track of the score, I'm not really that competitive. But I'm just going to say, I picked Jim.
You did.
Do you have anything to say about that, Mick?
I will say what I said then. That's a good pick.
Uh-huh. I'm not picking against Killian, I think, is your words.
Well, didn't you say, when was the last time Killian lost?
Yeah.
So you were with me.
Yep.
Kind of.
Yeah. I was with you until I wasn't. When I was like, he ain't touching Jim.
Did you see? Okay. Do you buy the? I don't even know if "buy" is the right word.
No, I don't. But go ahead and finish your sentence.
You already know what I'm.
Yeah.
Killian alluded to a knee thing. Did he kind of say, like, I didn't give it my all? Did he kind of say that?
He kind of said something in his post.
He implied. Like,
He implied.
Which is not. I don't think that's really like him. So if he's saying that, I'm like, okay.
Let's just say what we do know. We do know that they ran. So we're talking about Chianti, 120K, 120, 130, whatever it was. I think it was 120. I like to say Chianti, but I think it's Chianti. Jim, Killian, and Vincent Bouillard ran together for like 30 to 40 kilometers. And according to Killian, until Jim thought we were running too slow.
Yeah.
Meaning Jim just took off.
See ya.
And with 30K remaining, Jim had a 25-minute lead.
Oh, yeah.
So if you split the race up into 3 segments of 40, 40K, 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 they ran together for roughly 40K. And Jim was like, okay, bye. And that middle 40K, he just gapped the crap out of those two, Vincent and Killian. And then just kind of coasted it in. I don't know if it's coasting if you're running at Jim's pace, but
for him,
I'll say he coasted only because he had about 30 or 40K remaining in the race and had a 25-minute lead, and he won by 28 minutes. So he just beat them in the middle third of the race, and it was like, cool.
I got it.
It's in the bag.
Yeah, that was impressive.
And he runs a 9:59, 120K with 17,000 feet of vert. Huh?
Yeah, dude, he's incredible. Dude, you know what?
10 hours?
Bro. Okay, 10 hours and all of that climbing and all of the mileage, and he gets to the finish line and just stops right before it. And I'm like, go! To him, it's like, whatever. I'm like, bro, you have 20 more feet. Go.
He was giving high fives.
I know. I'm like,
you're going to be under 10 hours.
I'm like, well, where is there like a record here? Maybe he doesn't care or even know or wasn't even close to it. But I'm like, dog, celebrate in 5 seconds. Finish the damn race.
Across the line.
Take it from the back of the pack, guys. Go.
Yeah, Jim, would you listen to Mick for once?
Yes. Gosh.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not that competitive. I'm 1, you're 0. I won, you lost.
I picked the female winner.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
Yeah, picked her.
Oh, cool.
Sure did. I didn't tell you.
Oh, yeah, you didn't announce it live.
No.
But I will admit, all weekend and while on air last week, I was there for the men's race, and that was everything I ever asked for.
Yeah, that was exactly who you thought would be there. What happened to Zach?
Zach finished 18th.
Okay.
Second American, 18th.
Second American.
Yeah. I don't even know how many Americans were in it, but there was at least 2 that I followed.
I don't know how he could. He's so fast. I don't know how he could be 18th. There's that many badass runners out there.
Europeans, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy fast. So I just was blown away. Why is it that we're blown away every time Jim steps on course and sets another course record and gaps the field by a half hour and wins?
I'm not.
Well, you must be because you picked Killian.
I'm not blown away. I'm not surprised at all. Okay,
I'm not surprised, but blown away in like
if
he's getting faster.
I didn't expect him to beat Killian by a half hour. That's for sure.
Okay.
But look, bro, they're gonna be racing again, and I'm just like I keep hanging on to this. Like, is there something up with his knee? I mean, there was something wrong with Jim's knee in UTMB, and he got healthy and came back and looked great. So if it's true,
but he dropped last year.
Yeah. I'm just saying. So if it's true that Killian has a knee thing and he's going to get that right, and then I'll be like, I will be able to look past this and be like, I again don't know in Western. I know we're not here to talk about Western. I'm just saying, it's to be noted, sir.
You know, this is what I think about with Jim right now. At his peak, he's at his peak right now. He seems to be peaking for years, but I think he's been peaking for like 5 years.
Yeah,
maybe more. To me, it feels like the 2000s Tiger Woods. Like,
you expect him to win,
and then when he wins, you're like, yeah, cool, he won. But you don't really realize that you're witnessing greatness, absolute greatness.
Yeah, that if you just expect them to win,
yeah,
and you're like, just if you cheer for them, it's just relief.
Yeah,
if they win, you're like, oh, okay, cool. But you're not really happy and excited. I think that's, you know how they say, do you hate to win or do you hate to lose or do you like to win more? I for sure know that I hate to lose more. I'm a big Utah Utes. Have I ever talked about this on here?
Yes. Mm-hmm. But go ahead.
Just
run it back.
Go back to
Listen
that
to episode
podcast.
17, season 2. Yeah.
If the Utes win, I'm like, okay, next week, let's go. I'm fine. I'm just like, okay. But I am pissed if they lose.
Yeah.
If they lose. So it's interesting, the psychology.
So, but I feel like that only because I'm like, you expect him to win. And when he does, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. But are you actually giving it like the appreciation of like, did you realize what he just freaking did again?
Probably
time
not.
And time again?
Probably not.
Probably not. Nursing myself a little cold over here. I apologize.
It's okay.
Thank you. I want to apologize for the fact that before we move on from Chianti, I looked at Vincent Bouillard as the 3rd highest UTMB ranked index score going into the race. And I was like, yeah, like he's only 3rd because he won UTMB. And he only won UTMB because all these elites dropped. Shame on me. He won UTMB because he won UTMB.
Bro, I've never heard you talk like that about him, so I didn't.
I didn't say that both in the episode, but that was my mindset going into last week's episode was like, yeah, Vincent's 3rd, but like he's not Jim and Killian. So like he only has a high index score because he won UTMB. And he won UTMB because all the male carnage that happened last year. He wasn't the best runner in the field. He was that day.
Yeah.
And he proved last week that he belongs.
He belongs.
So
that was fun to watch him and Killian because, like, he was beating Killian on the downhills. That dude can move.
Mm-hmm.
Killian was crushing him on the uphills. So then they get this little uphill kind of towards the end there. And Killian makes his move. Passes him.
Yep. And then they finished basically together, 30 seconds apart.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun.
And then Killian posts that he got a golden ticket to Western. We were just talking about, are we going to see Jim and Killian this year?
Let's go.
What? Killian has 2 kids. His wife is giving birth to their third like any hour now, from what I understand.
I didn't know that.
Is that going to hold him back from Western?
No.
I hope not. He basically said he is grateful for the opportunity and looking forward to race one of the best 100-milers 3 months from now.
I mean, he is European.
Correct? Something like that, right?
They get paternity leave for like 6 months or something.
6 years.
Crazy.
He won't work for 6 years.
Us Americans take like 2 days. The guys.
Back at it.
Get to work.
What did you do?
What are you doing?
Okay. So we're going to have Jim, Killian, David Roche.
Watch David just take it.
And a whole slew of everyone else.
He's going to beat Jim. Oh, this is good.
Jim Roche's wife just had their second baby. Dave Roche just had their second kid. Unrelated news. But that's going to be interesting at Western.
Okay. This is good. Are we going down?
Well, I have something on the calendar, so I will not be going to Western this year. I've never been, but...
What do you have on the calendar?
Sorry, man. I have Lavaredo.
Oh, it's the same time?
With the Italians.
I don't think you're going.
I'll be in the Dolomites.
I don't think you will.
Yeah.
I think that this is going to start a fight with your wife.
No, we've discussed.
Oh, you have?
Yes. Why don't you let the viewers know what we're talking about?
Well, as soon as this podcast is done, you have an interview with the Beast Games to be a contestant and potentially a winner of $5 million on the Beast Games.
Beast Games 2.
And if you go all the way, you said you'd be gone for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And if you're gone for 6 weeks, you miss your race.
Yes.
In Italy.
Yes.
You really must want to go on the Beast Games.
So
you go all the way there and just get eliminated on the first. You're done.
It's not even
Bree's
funny.
going to be like, what the hell's...
It's not even funny, man.
It's kind of funny.
So I applied last week. I sent a video.
It was a good video.
The video was pretty good.
Release the video.
Release the video. There's a 60-second video, and I sent it to him, and I fill out all the application stuff. For those of you listening, I kind of got a problem with applying for stuff. Not like a major problem, but like Survivor.
How many times have you applied to Survivor? Is it applied?
Applied. I've applied at least 5 or 6 times.
Do you just send the same video every time?
No, new video, new app.
Hey, me again.
Hey, it's still me. Well, with Survivor.
Maybe you'll make season 40.
Well, it's already on 50. So
I was kidding, and it's even that was literally a joke.
It's
beyond 40. There's 50 seasons.
There's filming.
What the hell?
Survivor is filming seasons 49
People
and 50.
still watching that, huh?
This summer.
Did they do 4 seasons a year?
2. Right now, I'm watching season 48.
Have you seen them all?
Yeah.
You are a psycho.
Yes. Yes. Dude, I've told you this. This was one of my videos. I got everyone in the white prison room to watch Survivor full season. We had bets on who was going to win. We drew names. It was a whole thing.
The whites got their TV room, and the blacks got their TV room, and the Hispanics.
And the Hispanics and the Asians. And then there was a
They have all these rooms available?
And there was a TV room for the geeks and freaks.
What about the religious folk?
The folklore?
Don't they get their own little special?
No.
They're protected?
No.
Yes, they are. Because you said if you pretend to be religious and if they find out that you're not, that you're dead.
For like Ramadan?
I don't know. If you're a religious guy, they won't mess with you.
There's some.
But if they find out that you were faking, did I dream this?
This might have been real.
I think this is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to go check my core links.
Check your core links email. No, like in prison, I got the whole white TV room watching Survivor every Wednesday, 7:00. Because there's no like DVR. There's no recording. You watch it live or you don't see anything.
Oh, yeah.
So 7:00, I had the remote in my hand, front row. This is what we're watching.
You guys were betting on the contestants?
Yeah, so we like drew names, and we all had names of dudes we were sweating in. So I got them watching Survivor in prison.
And what do you win? Tunas?
Probably.
Stamps?
Exactly. Book of stamps. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, yes, I have an interview in T-minus 60 minutes. A 15-minute live Zoom get-to-know-you interview to see if I go to the next step on Beast Games 2.
Is it with Mr. Beast?
Sweat me in with Jimmy.
Jimmy.
No.
Cool.
So
do you know before we move on, do you know where it's at?
No, but first season was in Canada.
Oh, well, that's good. You don't want it to be in Canada. It would be better if it was in the U.S., so you don't have to mess with travel.
So I did talk
with your past.
Hey, take it easy, man. You know. So
Makes it easier,
bro. I talked with Bree. I talked with the family, and I was like, "You guys, I want to be on Beast Games. I think it'd be so fun. I would love it. Just the full gaming, the physical challenges, the athletic challenges, the manipulation, the recruit, all that happens in that is pretty intense. But I'm like, I think there's a slim chance you even make it past the first week. Because they trim it down from like 1,000 to like 150 in like a week.
They had 500 beds. They had to get it to 500. I watched it. After you told me you were getting on, I went and watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah. So I'm like, if I go the distance, yeah, I would miss La Laredo, but at least I would go the distance and have a shot at winning. But if you just go on for 3 days or a week, that's cool. You just miss a little training for a second, right back at home, right back at work, and that's fun.
It's an interesting game.
Yeah.
I don't know what the draw was for me. It was like the psychology part to the mind game.
They had over
more than it was the contests or whatever.
Yeah, over 1,000 cameras or something like that. I don't know.
These people are idiots.
Oh, I was dying laughing at everyone crying.
Why are you crying? Like, you gonna give up? I'm gonna Why the hell would you sacrifice yourself on a game show?
You just met these people today.
Yeah, I'm crying. I love you. I'm gonna sacrifice myself for the team. What are you talking about? I played high school football. I'm like, you know what, brother? I'm gonna give you this ball. I love you.
Brother.
Why? You're playing a game. Kick their ass. You know, if somebody's offering me $1 million, I'm paying my house off. I don't give a shit what Betsy Sue next to me thinks. Tell me to F off. Tell me I'm mean. Tell me that we have families too. That's what they're doing. I'm like, great. This isn't like real work. This is a game show.
They're handing out free money.
Yeah. I will crush you. And I don't even understand them. I don't even understand the mentality at all of like, no, I'm going to give. I'm going to give. This is not the time to give. This is a game show where you're going up against people. This is not like the community center. Help me then. Grab some sandbags. I'm down. But in Beast Games, I'm here to kick your ass.
Okay.
So, and they're like crying. I love you. I'm like, you just met him. God. And that's when I'm sitting there. I'm like, I don't know if this is fake or if these people are really that stupid. Here's $1 million, but I care so deeply about getting the approval of this group of kids that I'm going to sacrifice $1 million so that I get them praising me.
Or even 50 grand,
Well,
100 grand.
no.
The social experiment that goes on in there blows my mind, because I'm with you on that, but that's what makes us who we are. But if I'm in a row with 10 people,
Yeah.
and one person has to self-sacrifice so that my group goes on,
Yeah.
and the 21-year-old girl next to me who is unemployed and is just like there because she applied, crying, like, I'm going to do this for you guys. I love you. You know what I'm doing?
You're like, thanks.
I'm hugging her. Oh, thank you. Number 492. You're the best 492 that ever walked the earth. Oh,
That's all I needed.
yes.
That is
Everyone, give it up for
that
492.
is why I'm here. You know?
Thank you. You are a hero. You are a hero.
You know what? You're also broke, and that's why.
Okay, we just went off on Beast Games for 30. Okay, well, you all right now?
Yes.
Let me get a drink of
Let's
that
talk about
Rockstar.
boring running.
Yeah. Ugh, here we go. Back to trail running. We did discuss briefly. Remember, you were like, hey, why isn't Courtney running Chianti? I'm like, I
Yes.
don't know, because she's focused on Cocodona 250.
Yeah.
A, I was probably partially right. B, I was very much wrong. She raced the Crown King 50K and set the course record.
Okay. 50K is not the same thing. But
Great. I'm just saying, she went
Where
and
was
set
that? Where is Crown King?
Arizona.
See? No, bro.
I'm
You
just
said
saying.
she didn't want to travel to Europe,
I was correct.
and it's, 75 miles instead of
Yeah.
31.
But it was just interesting that she was racing the same weekend and just knocked out another course
And she
record.
won, of course. Yeah.
419, 50K. So that was cool.
Yeah.
To be noted. So this weekend, we had a bunch of movies come out. The Chase, if you haven't seen it, awesome. I believe it's airing this weekend. So today's Tuesday, the 25th of March. It's airing again this weekend, I think, somewhere in Salt Lake. This last weekend, it was at Kaysville Theater right in our hometown. So I went to it. And The Chase is the 2024 Cocodona 250, highlighting 5 men, like the 5 elites that were in the race. And it's like an hour and a half-ish movie. Very, very well done. Dude, I was uber impressed.
That's pretty long for a documentary. Like these other ones we've been watching, like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
It was
yeah,
a little on the long side, and I think it's because
it's a long race.
250 miles, you know?
Yeah.
But how do you they did a really good job, and I think it could have been a slippery slope, trying to track the character development of 5 athletes, not only like their hometown and their family and what they do and their training, but then it was like following 5 people in a race. Like, you can't even get to all the aid stations or the transitions of 5. It'd be uber boring. So they did a really good job. I think Aravaipa, as usual, freaking crushed it. They did a phenomenal job. The coolest moment in that race, our boy, Harry Subertis, was not one of the 5 that they were like spotlighting. I don't even know if Harry, was that like his first win? The 2024?
I don't know if it was
Coconut
first win,
250?
but I think maybe on the 200 plus mileage.
clearly he was not being spotlighted because he wasn't Jeff Browning, String Bean,
Arlen Glick.
Glick, Michael McKnight, and whoever the fifth one is, I'm blanking. Michael Versteeg, who won the inaugural year, which makes sense. We didn't have Harry on our radar when we were previewing that last year.
Yeah.
So with like 10 or 15 minutes left in the movie, they just introduced Harry. Like, oh, yeah, and then there's this guy who's running like second and third for the last 3 days. And
I know. I was surprised when you were telling me about this. I'm like, wait, what? They left him out?
They left him out because he wasn't, like, it was supposed to, it's, the chase is spoken as like, this is the most competitive men's field in any 200 ever. And so we're going to like make a movie about it. And we're going to spotlight these 5 guys before the race, during the race. And which makes sense. You're going to like, everyone would have thought that's going to be the 5 that dominate the top. And for the most part, they did. So at the end, you know, it's not like the Titanic. I'm going to ruin the ending for you. But places 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th were 4 out of the 5 runners.
Pretty good.
Michael McKnight placed like 17th or something, didn't have a great day. And then number 1, of course, Harry passes Jeff Browning with like 2-3 miles to go.
That was crazy.
So they bring Harry in, first time in the movie, and he sits down in this camp chair. And they're like, oh, I mean, we got to interview Harry, make him part of the movie now. And he sits down, he's wearing a hat like yours. And sunglasses on his hat. And I'm sitting next to Scott, and I elbow him immediately. I'm like, dude, just like that. I'm like, those are DC Peak sunglasses on his head.
Custom made.
Custom made. Finishers only.
There's no mistaking that.
No. So his girlfriend, Lauren, ran our race and had the sunglasses. And she was wearing them at the finish line when Harry finished and won the race. She's wearing them. And then in the interview, he's wearing them. So I was like...
Way to represent, Harry.
Like, we made it, Mick.
That's it.
We made it. We should probably retire right there.
We got sunglasses. We got OnlyFans. Bro.
We made it.
That's it.
So
let's sell it.
You know what? I didn't see anyone else doing their interview wearing a medal.
I know. I this keeps me up at night.
Yeah, I know. It does. But that just gives me further confirmation that 5 years ago we made the right decision. And today it's still the right decision. But custom-made sunglasses that are our colors with our logo on them. And I see it on Strava. I see it on Instagram. And now I see it in the theater at Kaysville Theater. Our sunglasses on our boy Harry's head.
Long term, the sunglasses are better. In the moment, when you cross the finish line, people are disappointed. They want the shiny metal. They do.
I know.
I know.
We have a debate.
No, we don't.
No, we don't, because we're doing what we want to do.
No, we're doing the medals. I'm not doing this for me.
Okay, well, it was still a really cool moment, okay?
No, it is.
I know.
We're going to find a way to incorporate both. Some medals, some cool sunglasses.
Okay.
We'll find a way.
All roads lead to DC Peaks. We talked about it last week. Zach, Grant, and this week it was like seeing
Harry.
the sunglasses. Yeah, dude, it was really cool. So if you haven't seen it, I don't even know how to see the chase. If it's going to be on YouTube later or if it's in theaters for a limited time. But awesome.
We went over to the theater with Scott.
Yep.
Watched that. You made a new friend. Shout out.
Dude, shout out Austin, my dog.
I'm sorry I wasn't there to meet you, bro.
Yep. Mick didn't want to meet you, Austin.
I was like, is Austin going to be there?
I was like, yeah.
I'm busy.
I got stuff.
Yeah.
So Austin has listened to every episode of our show, loves our show. I shared the experience with you. He DM'd me. He's either going to run the 25K or he's going to volunteer.
Let's
So,
go.
Either one, man.
Very, very exciting.
So
I love that.
That was cool. I love when people out in the wild let me know that they listen to the show. It's actually really cool because
that is.
we do this because we have fun and because we're going to sit and have this conversation while we're supposed to be running a solar company. So we might as well just hook up the mics and have the conversation.
I saw somebody at Costco wearing a DC Peaks hoodie. Is it weird that I just went up and gave him a hug?
No.
No context.
Slap on the butt.
Come here. Slap on the butt. Good game.
Good game. So the other show that came out last week, which I want to spend quite a bit more time talking about, The Finisher.
Bro.
Finn Melanson, the single track, crushed.
It was amazing.
Crushed. I dare say I enjoyed it more than the chase.
I watched it, and then I watched it again 2 hours later.
You watched it twice in the same weekend?
Yeah, in the same day.
Same day?
Same day.
Did you work at all that day, or you just watched movies?
I liked it so much that I went home and had my family watch it.
Dude.
So it was probably more than a couple hours, but it was that night.
That was so well done.
I know. I was saying, I'm like, I don't know what was better, her performance or that film.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. No, the film was so good.
And I don't say that lightly because I'm not. It's usually just like, whatever.
Shout
I
out.
watch it. But, dude,
Yeah.
Drew Darby, Austin,
Shout out
Texas.
Drew Darby.
Holy crap,
Yes.
Drew.
Connecting with Finn in the production of that whole film. If you don't know, The Finisher is on YouTube, and it's the Jasmine Paris 2024 Barkley finish. The year that 5 people finished the race, including the first female ever, Jasmine Paris.
Yeah.
Came out.
She is so tough. The stories of her training through the middle of the night in the snow, and her.
She did like 17 repeats on that hill.
Yeah, 8.5 hours in sleet turned to snow through the night. Just waking up every morning, the commitment. She got her body, her climbing so strong that she was like catching top runners. It's a really good story, and I'm like, she is a badass through and through.
Yep. I was so impressed. Yeah.
I'm glad that we picked her for Performance of the Year because
after the film, you're like, I would have been pissed if I didn't pick her.
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Sprinting to the yellow gate and then almost falling over it.
No. Oh yeah, she did. She fell onto it. She was done. She gave it up. She looked like, you remember when Gary Robbins finished it? It was like
30 seconds
6 seconds, bro.
It was?
Yeah.
You looked it up? It was 6 seconds?
6 seconds.
You know how many
He
times
fell down too. He gave it everything.
you replay that in your head over 60 hours? You're like, yeah, where I could have picked up 6 seconds.
Nobody talked about John Kelly finishing it because everyone just felt so bad for Gary. Now, Laz made a comment that he came in on the wrong trail, but I'm like, I don't know what that matters. If he has all the book pages,
Just get back.
then so I'm confused on that part. Who cares what trail he came in on?
It's a trail.
Like, it doesn't
You
matter.
use that word lightly.
I'm
Barkley.
missing something. If you have all the book pages,
I think as long as you come through the right direction.
why? Oh, because you have to go that direction on that loop.
I think that's the only
Maybe
thing I
that's
think of.
who knows, but whatever. That was they looked kind of the same when they finished.
Yeah.
Jasmine.
So can we touch on real quick what happened in the 2025 Barkley?
Yeah, he went Laz on the ass. He wasn't having it.
He started at basically noon, 11:37. So people sat around all morning.
The latest start ever. I think.
Yes. And John Kelly and Tomo, I think, were the only two that did the fun run. There were multiple pros in that race. Max King was in it,
Yeah.
jacked up his knee.
Mm-hmm.
Claire Banworth, she was out there for half a day and like
Got lost.
lost pages. Someone found one of her pages. She got whooped. Another
Everybody
pro,
did.
Kelly, someone. There were multiple pros that just got it handed to them.
Yep.
Really has me second guessing some of my comments, but
John Kelly, I know. John Kelly said that it was harder than last year's like finish.
the fun run
The fun
was
run
harder.
was harder. He said that now he's got he's intrigued again with this race because he is now again questioning if he can finish it. That's got him excited a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
He doesn't know if he can finish it, bro.
Yeah, I saw the video that Finn put out on Run Single Track that was like that had him live on the camera. That was like, if I was perfectly fit and had my nutrition dialed, never got lost, my navigation was perfect, and he was like, "Yeah, I think I could finish it," but there was hesitation. Deep, like I think he has to say, "Yeah, I think I could finish it."
He doesn't have to say that.
Yeah, he's John Kelly. I don't think he would ever sit down and be like, if all the stars lined up and it was perfect and I was trained and da 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 da, I'm not finishing that. There's no way he says that.
Why? If it was that hard.
I just don't think. I mean, he didn't say it, so I'm saying I just don't think he would say that.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Jen, my wife, she was actually upset. She's like, ew, that's rude. Why did they make it so hard?
So rude.
Like, she didn't like that. And I'm like, that's what they always do.
Bro, everyone knew that was coming.
They have always done that.
Everyone knew it was coming.
Yeah.
They knew.
She's not like trophies for everybody.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's just what it is. I said Laz is Carl Meltzer on steroids. Carl loved when people cross the finish line at Speed Goat.
I know.
Tell him to F off.
Yeah. He laughed at me.
He loves that.
He laughed at me and walked
Oh,
by
when
me.
you
Bro, I was cramping. I had gerbils all in my legs, and I was in the most pain I've ever been in any race ever. Ever.
I know I have video of that somewhere.
The most pain post-race ever, including Tahoe 200. The most pain I've ever been in was like...
That was 2018.
Like, I was probably on the verge of rhabdo overall.
You came out of prison, didn't train, and did the Speed Goat and finished.
I was prison trained.
You weren't. I mean, yeah, that's... I don't think you had heard of electrolytes at that point, but...
I think I just forgot I was supposed to do that. Yeah, that was tough. So, go watch The Finisher. Amazing. Next movie we watched, King of Moab.
Yeah.
Max Jolliffe. What were your impressions? We watched it over, was that yesterday? Yeah, we watched it
At
and
lunch.
We smoked some bison burgers off the deck at the office. Fantastic bison burgers, by the way.
Yeah. I was surprised when he said, I just do salt and pepper.
I was surprised when he said bison.
Yeah, that was really good. A little undercooked for me. That's important to get this.
Wow.
Get that information on the podcast, you know?
Wow. Just the low blow on the cook.
So,
A little undercooked.
King of Moab. All right, you want me to just be real? It was hard for me to cheer for him at first. I don't know why. I was just like,
Did he come across?
I don't know. I
little-
don't know what it was. I was just like, okay, model guy. I don't know what my problem was. I was just like, I was not cheering for him at first, and then I was watching it, and he was suffering, and he has no quit, and I changed the way I viewed him. I was like, okay, well, I liked that. And then, I keep watching, and I'm like, I would have quit. I know me, and I have, and I would have quit. And he didn't. And I'm watching him, and he is dying. His feet are wrecked. He can't even walk. at like 110 miles, 120 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow this dude, he's like, I don't even know how I'm going to do this. And he just never quit and kept going and kept going. And he was like 10, 12, what was he, like 10 miles behind Harry?
He was in the middle of the night around mile 1.
He's like 4.5 hours behind him.
He was 4.5 hours back from Harry.
And just went for it.
With no pacer.
No, he had like 60-something miles left.
Mm-hmm.
And caught and passed Harry. And I'm like, yeah, I like him. I like this dude. I'm like, he totally changed my mind. I'm like, that's one of the toughest bastards ever. I'm like,
yeah, when the show started, it was very interesting to me from like a cinematic perspective. Not like I'm some expert, but I was watching it and I'm like, this is a movie. They made a movie. Like, he's acting.
mm-hmm.
He goes out, he goes to start his van, doesn't start, pops the hood, doesn't work, goes to the back of the van, grabs his skateboard, and he's skating through
Yeah, it was like a movie.
Orange County.
Yeah.
And I look at you and I'm like, they made a movie. This is not a documentary. They made like a full-blown movie. And then it turned into a documentary.
Yep.
So I'm very confused by that.
That did happen.
Like, why? Why did it go from movie to documentary? Again, I'm no expert.
Well, because when you have raw footage, you can't act that. And you're saying, why didn't you just show him really get ready to go up there?
Well, why don't you just show him rolling out the front door, hopping on a skateboard, and going through town, go to the store, grab some food? Why the theatrics?
There's no context to the my van won't start.
That's how it started. The movie started.
So you hate the movie?
I just was confused.
You don't like him as a person?
I hate everyone named Max. No, I was just like... So when I sat down and watched the finisher...
Very nitpicky of us.
Yeah.
Because it was a good...
But it was like we had a weekend to watch 3 movies. So I'm in the mindset of, when I watched The Chase, it was very much, this is a documentary about these 5 dudes. Here's their hometown. Here's their family. Here's their race experience. Bop, bop, bop. The finisher, same thing. Go out to her hometown, watch her run,
Scotland.
go to her house. Yeah, go to Scotland. And it's like, see her train in the weather, go to Barkley, watch the whole thing. It's like, she sits down, does an interview. It felt like it's supposed to progress in a documentary. Sit down and watch King of Moab. We're like, oh, this is cool. I've got my popcorn. I'm watching a movie. And then it just converts to a documentary. But it was like high quality video. And then it was like high quality documentary. And then it went phone, vertical phone running on the course, back to high quality movie. So it just confused me from a production standpoint.
Yeah, I feel that.
Needless to say, very, very impressed with Max.
So something that stood out to me, his girlfriend or wife?
Yeah, girlfriend, crew chief.
Coach, trainer,
Uh-huh.
chef, everything.
The Swiss Army knife girl.
They're new to the sport. He's better than me at the sport. But I was like, is he finishing this race in first just because he's the way he trains and his will? Because it seemed unorganized. It seemed they would get into an aid station and he's filling up his own packs, and she was like,
There was
she was like, she was almost like,
I don't know. This is
it's felt
overwhelming.
Yeah, it was like they didn't have a game plan, like when the Pacers were running and when not. She's like, you shouldn't be making the decision. Like, I don't know if he should have a pacer for the last 60. And they're like, I'm like, this is not the time to be trying to figure this out. you guys are tired, and you're like, you should. Anyway, it's not a big deal. He won the race, but in the moment, I was like, there were a few different things that I saw
Yeah.
where I was like, you guys need to dial that in, tweak some stuff, dial it in, and they'll learn and they'll get better.
Yeah, and I think that the documentary said he started doing ultras in 2021. Started running in like 2017, 2018. Ultras in 2021. So 3 years into ultras, he did run. What's the UTMB race? He was what's it called? He ran TDS in August, and I think he was second or third American, behind our boy.
Oh,
he
from Colorado.
Took third at Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Jason Schlarb.
Yeah.
Jason Schlarb, I think, was first American TDS, and Max was second or third. So, dude is a freaking runner. He's an athlete.
Yeah.
He got picked up by Satisfy. He's kind of got the modeling thing. He's got like the social media. He's like a big influencer guy. But the cool thing about him is he's kind of influencer guy, but he actually can perform on any course, because there's already too many people in the sport who are social media guy, all the followers guy, and just sucks at running. There's a lot of them.
Sprint out in the front for the
run. So you're on camera and then DNF. Run on camera and finish your 100-miler in 35 and a half hours. 100, because you have 100,000 followers. Cool. It's good working for you. That's great. Do your thing, dog. I mean, but Max is actually both. He's a champion and a freaking top athlete, and he's got the social side of it dialed. So to hit all of those,
I didn't even know that part.
He has like 65,000 followers on Instagram. So it's cool to see both. For me, I think that's cool.
I think if he heard this podcast, he'd be like, screw those guys.
It's fine.
We've said some nice things, but we've also Siskel and Ebert a little bit.
It's fine. We're just critiquing. I think he's a stud. I think he's an unbelievable athlete. And he's, to your point, he's only been doing this a few years, and he's only going to get faster. That was his first 200, and he freaking won it. And he beat Harry, tracked him down.
Yeah.
And at the pace we saw him moving in that video, I was like, there's no chance he's catching Harry, and there's no chance he's finishing.
He couldn't even walk.
And I already knew the ending, and I knew he beat him, but I'm like, he's only going to get faster.
He's tough. The one thing I will say about him, that dude has no quit in him.
Yep. None. So
I'm not. He slept for 40 minutes
like 3 times.
3 times, and I was surprised by that. I've never done one, so I'm not saying he should or shouldn't have. I was just surprised by that. Maybe he dials those things in. I'm like, I think he can dial in his race and then just be even that much better.
I'm very interested to see what Max does this year. I don't know I didn't have any time to look him up to see what he's racing, but his last comment sitting in the shower at the end of that movie was something to the effect of like, I'm 200-mile guy now. I don't know if that is a true, like, he fully believes that. He was just saying it in the moment because he won. But there's also an element to, like, from my experience, adrenaline. You're running in first or second or third, and there's no quit because you're in contention. If you're in that much pain and you're in 22nd, totally different mindset.
Yeah. You might not even finish.
Yeah, hang it up, wait for another day. Today wasn't my day. I learned a lot about not ripping off the tape off my toes. I should have just left it. All the stuff that he learned. So, I mean, he as a runner, I'm way more impressed with him than I was the movie. Let's just put it that way. Movie, awesome, because I love trail running, and I love just watching all that go down. But his race was phenomenal. So, That's where I lie with King of Moab.
Okay. Very good.
Okay. Well, that's our critiques. Hopefully we're not, who cares actually?
So the finisher, first place.
If I was ranking
Yeah,
these
ranking.
three, yes.
The finisher, first place.
The Chase second.
The Chase, second.
King of Moab third.
Okay.
I would say that's fair. Yeah. I mean, that'd be one opinion.
There's your podium.
There's my podium. Ultra Running documentary season 1.
I'll
Okay.
I'll go watch the Chase.
Next week I have it on my calendar. Arizona Monster 300 preview. I think that race is next weekend.
Oof.
Well, next week. That ain't a weekend race
300 miler.
in Arizona desert. Yeah.
Why doesn't someone do the
500?
the Appalachian Trail race?
I think they do.
They do?
No, FKT?
No, not an FKT.
Actual race?
Yeah.
Live stream it. We'll wait for Aravaipa to live stream the FKT. So next week we will cover the Arizona Monster 300. This week, that was fun. That's good stuff. Hopefully everyone's enjoying us back for season 3. Nick,
New.
I'm going to go crush my Zoom interview
Let's
with
go.
Beast Games
Wrap it
2.
up.
Wrap it up. This has been another episode of The Next Aid Station.